Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and start building your wealth.
Let's go ahead and let's get started here. So we'll start the class. I'm going to share my screen with you. Just do a real quick review. Let me get that out of here, out of the way so I can see my menu. Here we go. All right. So if you remember last week, everybody should have done by that point your vision exercise. And if you haven't done it, I mean, I know it's Christmas and you probably got your hands full now with family and friends and all that kind of stuff, business. But definitely do the vision exercise if you haven't, because we're feeding it into AI. So what we did on the 8th is we assigned the vision exercise. Last week we did the goals, and what we did was I took a sample vision exercise from one of our former agents years ago. I took out all the names and everything, um, and fed it in here. And the prompt was this: ChatGPT, you're a world-renowned life coach. Please read the attached vision statement and determine what goals person in the vision statement should have that are in alignment with and will lead to the realization of the vision. Okay. So we fed it the vision statement. There's the attachment there. An email from last week, everybody got a copy of that, plus the chat GPT prompt, and the results. So what I'm going to do, that we create the goals out of that. So I'm going to come down here to purpose-driven uh, business and entrepreneurial success. So I'm not going to do what we're doing tonight is creating the action steps. Next Monday, we'll finalize everything with the actual plan, the planning part. Okay. Um, so I'm going to feed this section number 5. Let me grab that. I'm not going to put the number 5 in there, but I'm going to feed this part of it. Okay. Actually, let me real quick do promotions here. Um, let's see, yeah, there's PF. Good to see you, PF. Go to panelist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's will it? Okay. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to scroll down because the vision exercise had 11 parts to it, 11 environments we call them, and then ChatGPT gave us goals for the 11 different environments, right? And we're just going to take the one on business tonight to do the example. So if you always go down to the bottom of the prior prompt, and if in ChatGPT, everything you do, I just have the plus version, ChatGPT plus $20 a month. It saves everything you do, the prompts and the actual results. Okay. So down here, it says, what would you like next? Okay. I'm actually going to pick up right where we left off. Um, by the way, it gives you other things you can do. Gary, if you'd like, I can now take this further and turn these goals into one-page personal life plan, create strategic quarterly goals align with the vision, build a measurement and accountability system, or create an affirmation script the person can read daily. So if it was me, I would probably do all these, but the third one, build a measurement and accountability system, I would absolutely do that. Okay, just a side note, if you want to write that down, that would be great. Plus, remember, you're going to get the recording of this tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is this. With a chat GPT, please take the following goals from the prior exercise, okay, and create a list of the individual action steps required for each goal in the following. Okay, I'm going to paste this in there with quotes. Hopefully I did that right. So This purpose driven. Okay, we go down to here, put end quote. Okay, so is everybody with me so far? Once you get used to this, guys, it actually is extremely easy. Really, what you're doing is you're having a conversation. You want to give it very specific, detailed instructions. Okay, so put that in there. I'm just going to hit the enter key. I put it in quotes, by the way. Hit the enter key, and it's going to take a second. It's probably going to give me a real long answer, right? So let's just, and it's still working. If you look over to the right, the cursor bar on the right is still moving up, which means it's building down a lot of content for us. For those of you who are pretty new to this, Sugar did send out the complete set, vision, goals, action plans, instruction set. But remember, that was pre-chat, pre-AI. So what we're doing in steps 2, 3, and 4 this month, which is the goals, actions, and the plan, is using ChatGPT to do it for us. Because it can do in a matter of, what was that, 15 seconds, what would take us probably days to accomplish. Okay. So in any case, the answer it gave me is this. Absolutely, Gary, below is a clear, practical execution focused breakdown of individual action steps for each goal under the purpose-driven business and entrepreneurial success. This is designed to run turning meaningful vision into daily, weekly strategic behaviors that actually produce the life described in the vision. Okay. Um, and it gave us just think of this as vision, goals, actions, habits, and legacy. Okay, we haven't given it a plan for it yet. So there's the heading: purpose-driven business and entrepreneurial success, action step by goal. And the first goal was build businesses that align with personal purpose and add value to others. So the first set of actions are clarity and alignment actions. And remember, alignment comes up a lot in all this. What you're looking for uh, are your goals in alignment with your vision? Is the plan you come up with ultimately in this time next week drive the action steps through the achievement of the goals that are in alignment with the vision. So we're on the action steps tonight. So one of the first things it says is write a personal business purpose statement, why this business exists beyond profit. Define the primary problem the business solves for others. Identify who the business is designed to serve and who it is not for. Audit current businesses and projects for purpose alignment. Exit or redesign misalignments. Okay. So, uh, value creation actions, interview clients, customers, understand their true pain points. And believe it or not, that's a really important step in business that a lot of people actually don't ever do. They don't even do surveys. Um, Hang on one second. Got a few more promotions here. Lou Brown's on. Good to see you, Lou. Sean Payone's on. Good to see you, Sean. Jackie, let's get you in here. Okay. In any case, what we're doing for Jackie, Lou, and Sean is we're working this month on the vision, goals, action plans. We do it every single year. We take 4 weeks in the month of December. This year, we took the latter 4 Mondays, the 8th, 15th, 22nd, which is tonight, and next Monday, which is the 29th. And this year, for the first year, we're using AI for the actions, uh, for the goals, actions, and plans part of it. The vision should have already been written. The vision statement is something we have to do ourselves. There's no software on the planet that can do that for you. You have to do it yourself. So we did the goal, we did the vision on the 8th. Last week we did the goals. Tonight we're taking just one section of goals for the business part of it, that section out of the 11 different environments, and feeding it through ChatGPT to come up with the individual specific action steps. Next week we'll put it all together in a plan. Okay. So in any case, it's got the value creation actions. There's a decision filter. Basically, what it says is create a simple decision rule. Does this opportunity align with my purpose and add real value? So this is for you guys. If you're doing this, if you're looking to build something, build a business, if we go back up here to the top, build a business that aligns with a personal purpose and add value to others. That's for you if you're looking to do that in 2026. Again, this is just an example. Your vision statement completely different. So Sean, you and I will be working more closely one-on-one with that. Um, it's going to be a lot faster than it has been in the past, but we'll get you set up and all this will start to make sense. Okay. Um, any case, the first one was about getting clarity in alignment with your action, get your doing or identifying your clarity and alignment actions, excuse me. Second one is partner only with people who operate with integrity, generosity, and honesty, right? So partner selection actions. And this is really important. I mean, think about it when you're out there working with clients, who here has ever had a situation where you're working with somebody and you may even be past the first transaction. You might be on a second transaction with this person. You're realizing they are not in alignment with you as far as values go. You ever wanted to actually fire a client? Just do a hand raise. If you ever wanted to fire a client, type in a chat box, yes, or hand raise. Yeah, we all have. And I've actually done that before. Okay. Um, and then boy, does it feel good. You know, I mean, you would have been Marine Civil, but if somebody is really causing you an absurd amount of stress and anguish, you know what? You really don't need them. I promise you. Even if you're new, you're going to get more clients. That's a fact, right? So, in any case, you want to define what those values are: integrity, transparency, generosity, right? Establish a value-based partner vetting process. Okay. So you want to have a list of questions you're going to ask people, right? Just like an interview. Ask value revealing questions before entering any partnerships. I just kind of didn't know that's what that was going to say, but I guess I'm in alignment with the AI, right? Observe how potential partners treat people who cannot benefit them. Um, and we've all seen that. We all want to make sure we're in business, we're aligned with people that are aligned with our business. And it should always be win-win. But what do you do with something or someone that's really not um, if you observe how they treat people that don't benefit them, do they just brush them off? Or do they give them, polite, pleasant send off, like maybe give them some guidance, say, look, I think you might be better off working in a title company, right? Or an insurance company. So like actually help somebody. When you send somebody off, it's like the old story of a library. When you bring the book back, you dust it off and put it back on the shelf for the next person, right? Do it in a high-minded way. That's kind of ad-libbing here. I'm just telling you. You want to observe how these people deal with others that they don't see as benefiting them. If they just do a nice send off or they just brush them off. That should be important to you. All right. Relationship and trust actions, start partnerships small. Excellent advice. When you build a campfire, you don't start with the big logs, you start with the little kindling. Like Lou Brown tonight. He and I've known each other for years. I personally visited him in his office in Atlanta. Got to know his wife, God rest her soul, beautiful, wonderful people. Had a great business. Lou, are you on or
I am.
is your microphone on? There you are.
Can you hear me?
We can. It's good to see you, buddy.
You too.
So, so for those of you who are new, Lou is also in the real estate business. He's not an agent or a broker, but he has programs that are very much in alignment with what we do. And his values are all in alignment. The guy's a good guy. I'll tell you what, I've never met anybody like Lou that actually knows all his people by name. Now I'm talking about a lot of people over the entire country. And he does it. And he remembers things about you, right? That's somebody who cares about his people. So
And some
in
of
any
them
case,
are on here tonight. I'm
you
pleased
are,
to
here you are.
see. Yeah, baby.
So Lou's helped a lot of people on the team with something called the CAP program, Certified Affordable Housing Provider. There's several of them on the team. We've got a mastermind going with 16 members. And that, by the way, the CAP program, that doesn't just necessarily mean affordable housing in the way you might think it means. It can mean any type of house. We've used the CAP program for $1 million houses. Hi, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching a recording of the Monday Night Live class. Hope you're getting a lot out of it. I'm sure you will. I wanted to let you know that, you can come to Monday Night Live whenever you want, but you can also participate more with the team. Why don't you set up a call with me, a one-on-one strategy call? I can go over everything with you, show you everything that we have to offer. For example, did you know that on our team, not only do you get your leads, we actually give you your own account on our lead gen system. So this puts you in control.
You're not waiting on somebody to hand you leads. You get to pick the ones you want. Okay. Huge difference. We have 21 of our own proprietary marketing campaigns. They're all copyright protected. We're the only ones that can use them. Okay. The coaching is absolutely one-on-one. We got 3 coaches. We even have a 4th success coach that we have access to. Okay. One of left fewer than 100 in the world. Okay. One-on-one coaching. Right now the big problem is volume. We need more transactions. We need more inventory. I get it. Well, we know how to get it. Our team actually outproduces the national average by more than 2 to 1. So if you're struggling, don't do that anymore. If you're a solo agent, if you're a team, let's just talk. Smart entrepreneurs are always open to discussion. Learn what we have to offer, and then you can make an informed decision about staying where you are or moving on. You've got to decide, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to take action to get where you want to be. Let's see how we can help you do that. I look forward to talking to you. Click on the link, set up a call. And by the way, I'll see you on the next Monday Night Live.
It's really a way to help people. So Sean, I saw your name. Well, you and I were talking about on Friday, working certain transactions that may be off market and things like that. That's right. Lou's Allen, he understands how to help people structure financing and maybe get credit worthy over a period of time. It could be a year, it could be 3 years, to be able to get the house that they want by using our help, right? It is win-win for everybody. So Lou, anything you want to, while you're on, you want to mention anything to these folks about any events you have coming up, or?
Well, just super smart that you guys are paying attention to setting your goals for the next year, because definitely when you're in alignment with what you want to accomplish, it makes it so much easier. Sometimes it's just like a ball of string. It's just happening and it just continues, and it just every single day becomes another day similar to the last, until you've got that clarity of vision and clarity of what you are in this for, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to take away from it. And this is such an exciting time of the year. And Gary asked me to mention to everybody that this Saturday I have a training that's going to be very much in alignment with this very conversation, and it is on trust, one of the most amazing, incredible, terrific entities that almost no one knows anything about. And if you do know about it, you probably are thinking about a living trust. And I go deep and broad into that conversation. So we have a couple hours on Saturday morning, this coming Saturday morning, the 27th, to give you an opportunity to really be able to take advantage of this knowledge that I was blessed to be exposed to way back in 1982, believe it or not, when the government passed a law. And the only way around this law was trusts. And I said, I better learn about trust. And it was such a blessing. Oh my gosh, such an incredible blessing that I was forced to learn trust, because probably to this day, I really wouldn't have knowledge in it unless I was forced into it. And what did I find out? That it is an absolute hidden gem, and one of the most amazing and powerful things that is sitting right out in front of us and we don't even know it. So I like revealing that. I like revealing that to everybody, and that's what I'm going to be doing Saturday, is really just rolling this out, soup to nuts, to give you an insight into what it is and how it works and how it can work in your life. And I call it privacy, which a lot of people think that privacy is dead, but it's not. You can have privacy on the internet, you can have privacy on public records, and not be the owner of the property, yet in control of that asset. Privacy protection, asset protection, the smartest thing you can do is keep your name off public records, or if it's on there, to get it off by deeding it to individual trusts. So what I recommend is you put each property in its own trust, and then that provides a lot of protection. So probate avoidance, that's another thing that you cannot get with any other entity. You cannot get it with a corporation, an LLC, a limited partnership. You can only get it with a trust. And that means that you don't have to go to court. You don't have to do it with judges. You don't have to spend a fortune. You don't have to break up the family. Literally, the assets pass on the instant of death to the heirs without having to go through the pain and suffering of probate. And the final one of the four P's is profits, that you can absolutely profit by understanding trusts. And the way you profit is to be able to take over existing financing on properties, financing that has already been paid for. They already paid the points, the closing costs, and imagine that you can just step in and take over the payments. And I know that Gary is a big lover in teaching you how to invest in real estate and not just sell real estate, but invest in it. And that's been my love for over 40 years. And what I discovered is that way back when, it was that one thing, it was trusts that avoided the lender from being able to call the due upon sale clause. So that's just a little touch on what I'm going to cover on Saturday, and definitely would love all of you to join us at the Ultimate Trust Masterclass. I'll put a link in the chat, Gary, if you'd like me to. And
Yes.
definitely something that all of you are invited to. And it's an eye opener for sure. So if you can join me on Saturday, by all means, do that.
Yeah. Hey guys, just by the way, just to make sure you understand, this is information you can use on your own for your own investing, but also is your role as an agent. You can share this with your clients and you tell them, hey, I'm not an attorney, I'm not an accountant, but I learned this from a guy named Lou Brown. That you can make an introduction, introduce them to Lou. But think of it as this way, it's another value add, another tool in your toolbox when you're working with the clients there, not just investors, but if you're helping people buy $1 million houses, they're probably affluent, they probably have money, and they're probably good with it because otherwise they wouldn't have it. But some people are just simply not aware of all these trusts. I did a lot of studying over a lot of years, and I'm a huge advocate. I'm not against LLCs. I'm just telling you, trust using trust law is another dimension. It's a different higher level of protection, anonymity. Even there's tax deferment components in some of these trusts legally, right? Even I hate to use the word avoid, it's not avoidance, but eliminating the necessity of tax depending on how you structure some of these trusts. How's that for a selling feature when you're working with your clients? Just make the introduction, let them know that it's possible. You have clients for life. So Lou, put that in the chat. If
Okay.
you're hang around as much if you're able to tonight. I know it's getting late, but we'll have Sugar put that in the after class email too. You know.
Yeah, baby. Well, thank you so much, Gary. I appreciate the opportunity, and I hope to see you all there. There's PF. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, baby. Look, he's got my yeah, baby in the background. Val, how are you? It's good to see you. We got some good
Good to see you too.
street smart folks here for sure,
Hello.
for sure.
Oh
How
yeah.
are you, Catherine? It's good to see you, Val. Wow. Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Now I know what you do on Monday nights. You hang out with Gary, don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
holidays to you as well.
Yep, it's a busy day.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. Thanks. Last Monday we ended it just in time for me to watch the Steelers. So that's not the case tonight. There's no Steelers tonight, but in any case, guys. So back to what I'm doing. I'm just giving you this as an example from one of our former students. Okay, I want you to create your envision exercise, then run it through what we gave you last week. So again, anybody that's new, don't worry. I'm gonna catch you up. We'll do it one on one, and it won't take a lot of time, but it'll surely help you be positioned for 2026. Whether because there's multiple streams of income possible here. One of them clearly is commission income. The other one is clearly your own investment income, should you choose to invest in your properties. And I do think everybody should own some, right? Um, three would be something, well, like revenue share in the brokers that we're in, we get to have that extra kicker plus stock. So my thing is always three streams of income. And if you have ownership and income producing assets, you always will have some degree of financial independence and ultimately financial freedom. right? That's my mission, is to help you gain financial freedom, financial peace. So you're not dependent on anybody else. You can do it yourself. And I know it's might seem like hard work, and it may be from time to time. But when you start right here, right now, with where you are, and take an honest assessment of where you are, don't worry about how you got there. Learn the lessons from the past. But this is a forward-looking process. The VGAP, Vision Goals Action Plans, is looking forward based on what you have right now in this moment. It's extremely reality based, and it's practical, and it works. Like what we're doing with agent attraction. I mean, the perfect example. Everybody's, eyes are popping with what we're able to accomplish. But it's just because we focus on reality. We focus on the truth. So in any case, back here, relationship and trust actions. Start partnerships small, like we were just describing a few moments ago. Require clear agreements and expectations up front. And I gotta tell you, the old saying in real estate, if it ain't in writing, it ain't real. And there's a legal precedent there. Real estate law is the only form of contract law that's required to be in writing to be supported in the courts. Okay. You could have a contract with a plumber that's verbal, and if it's not written, you can still go to court if you need to. But in real estate, you can go to court without any written contract, but judge is going to say, I can't hear that case. In real estate, it's required to be in writing. So just everything you should always have it in writing. And I'm just going to preach for a moment here. I've had people tell me, I don't need to do that, Gary, because it's my brother or it's my best friend all the way back from high school. And I'm like, that is more reason to put everything in writing. So you honor the relationship. But stuff in life is going to happen, right? And if you have already determined ahead of time, ready pre-made decisions on what would happen if somebody passed away, somebody got divorced, if somebody got married, all these things, like somebody loses a job, what are you going to do with your entity should those things happen? Have them predetermined, everybody's agreeing to them in writing when everybody's in fine, happy, good shape. Okay. You do not want to wait till crisis hits to document what you want. There's going to be disagreements, there's going to be conflict, and that's why lawyers make so much money. So outsmart the attorneys and put it all in writing ahead of time. It could be on a cocktail napkin. In any case, that's my preaching moment. All right. Um, right. Schedule regular check-ins. That's definitely a given. That's what we do on the team. We have daily huddles. I coach you one-on-one. We have weekly classes. I mean, that's the staying in contact, staying engaged is vital. Right. And anything that's out of alignment, you want to address immediately. It doesn't mean you get rid of somebody. You just might need to rework a particular goal or plan you had. Okay. In any case, boundaries and exit strategies. We all have boundaries. We just need to maintain them. Okay. So again, I'm not really here to preach to you all this, what this is telling us. I'm just reiterating it because it's part of the lesson. And I think this should apply to everybody, quite frankly. This is really good stuff here. Okay. I'm going to wrap things up here shortly. I just want to go over one or two more. Right. Develop systems allowing businesses to thrive without sacrificing lifestyle. This is a big part of what we're going to be doing next Monday. All right. Systemization actions, right? You know, everything can be systematized, everything. In fact, a house is literally a system of systems. That's what a house is. Electrical system, plumbing system, HVAC system, your roofing system, right? They're all systems. When they all work well together, you've got a great place. Same thing with your business. When you have as much systematized as humanly possible, it reduces the amount of manual labor you have. It also reduces human error. Okay. In any case, time and energy management. Remember, it doesn't say anything about saving time. You really can't save time. You can't create time or save time, but you can manage time, right? So have your action steps ready made. So when you create your plan, you can hit the ground running. So the plans that we're going to have, guys, are literally down to the 15-minute intervals, that level of detail. That's why we're able to accomplish so much. That's why we have so much successes. It's a mathematical certainty you're going to succeed, right? All right, leadership leverage. In our team, we've got about 6 leaders that we're developing right now. Okay, some are further along than others, but we're all different. We all have different learning styles and communication styles. So just because somebody's where they want to be in 3 months and yours taking you 3 years, that doesn't matter. What matters is you got there on your time and on your own terms. Okay. So you might have other things in your life that require your time, energy, and money more than the other person has, right? And that will change throughout life, right? Okay. Number four, maintain mastery in your profession and contribute uh, thought leadership. So what do masters do? They continue to sharpen the blade, right? I'm constantly reading. Here's what I'm reading right now, the AI driven leader. Okay. I'm always learning. Lou's the same way. I never stop learning. Um, any case, I schedule learning every single day. Here's my daily planner. You can see it's pretty full, right? Well, learning, it's up in there. Teaching and learning are actually side by side. So pretty interesting stuff. All right, thought leadership actions. Um, I'm not suggesting that you think of a way that you can serve others outside of brokerage right now. I do want you to focus on building an income producing stream, right? It should be, first of all, serving others, because just like Zig Ziglar said, when you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get plenty of what you want, right? So serving others to generate prosperity for you and them, right? It should be fulfilling for everybody, all right? Um, but later on, what you can do is you can start sharing with people through channels like YouTube, okay? You can speak, you can be a teacher. I've taught, I don't know how many dozens of VXP University classes over the years, and I'm happy to do it. I don't get anything out of it other than the satisfaction that I'm helping people. And I'll get phone calls throughout the next weeks and months from people that were in class and want help. They might want to join a team or something. You never know. Um, okay. Authority and contribution. Um, at the end of the day, who was I talking? I know I was talking to Sean. Oh, and another person, by the way, similar, almost identical demographics between us guys here and them. But we were talking about something called the Healing Yacht Foundation. I created the Healing House Foundation several years ago. And while in Florida, I had the idea with all the bunch of yachts all around me. I thought they're all just sitting there idle. What if we created the Healing Yacht Foundation and encourage the owners to allow their boats to be available for kids like through the Make a Wish Foundation? They may be, it's 6 years old and fighting cancer, and they can get a free overnight cruise on a yacht around Tampa Bay or the Chesapeake Bay. You just never know what would bring a smile on their face. I mean, that's a great endeavor and a great goal that's very much in alignment with you as a business person, particularly in real estate. Most people that own big yachts also own nice houses. So this particular agent, we're working on a plan to help her sell in a condo community that has docks, so she can also sell them their boat as well as their house. How's that for being creative? By the way, who likes that idea? Just give me a hand raise or type in the chat box. You like the idea of being able to help people who live on the water buy their houses and their boats. If you can do both, just type in what your thoughts are there. I'd be interested to see what people think. If you think it's crazy or think it's a good idea, yeah, I tell you what, um, if you live around the water, you know what I'm talking about. It's very, very possible. We've done joint ventures with car dealerships. We've done joint ventures with boat dealers, by the way. I have in the past. Um, so we're not approach them about this. They can get a tax write off part of the expense of their boat by making it available for children through St. Jude's, or I'm just naming these. You can pick any organization you want, or the Make a Wish Foundation. Okay. In any case, mentorship, philanthropy, and legacy. Right, those are all kind of self-explanatory. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop here. Um, and by the way, I'm sorry, it's giving you three final filters. All right. Whatever it is you're looking at, does it align with your purpose? Does it add real value to others? Does it support a balanced, abundant life? Okay, those are your three filters. And down here, we're going to get to that next week. All right, now, 7:37, I'm going to stop the share here and ask if anybody here has questions. Hey, Bless, good to see you. So, Lou, you might remember Blessed Hamill. She's on tonight. She's from your group. And
Of course. I've known her for about 20 years.
yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Guys, if you have questions Kathy's got her set. Well, doggone it. Where's my Shanahan? Oh, it's downstairs. I
It's
was
not
going to
going to
put it on
help if
tonight.
it's downstairs. You have to have it be New Year's
I
now.
know. I'm a knucklehead. I packed it so I remember it when I go to my dad's on Wednesday. So, in any case, guys, that was the subject for tonight. So, if you have something you want to discuss, whether it's related to the subject or any other subject, like a challenge you're having on a transaction with a client, whatever that is, feel free to speak up. And if not, we will wish each other a very Merry Christmas. I am working tomorrow. I don't know if any of you guys have calls with tomorrow, but Jess does actually. The rest are all calls from people who want to look at the team.
I'm putting that ID in there for everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Um, let's see. Solution to that last question could increase the sales price equals more commission. Absolutely. Yep. So if you down to like Florida and places like Virginia Beach, Virginia, and Annapolis, Maryland, you'll see some really big boats.
Well, it's a
Uh,
value added service. So if you're
yeah.
incorporating something like that into your sales, you
Yep.
have a good reason to raise your commission.
Yep. And what happens in the world of lending when you have any property, doesn't have to be a piece of land, any property that has living space and bathrooms. How does that work in the world of lending? Is it important to have bathrooms and kitchens? It is. And guess what boats have? Bathrooms and kitchens, just like campers. But campers aren't stationary. They're mobile. They're on wheels.
So are
Boats are on the
boats.
water, but they have bathrooms and kitchens. And you find lenders that will lend money on boats and RVs as long as they have bathrooms and kitchens. You know, you'll get more favorable financing. What I've seen as opposed to um, buying just a car, for example. Uh, so guys, the Lou put the link in there for Lou's Saturday event, and Lou, I'm gonna have Sugar put this in the email tomorrow, so that'll go out to everyone. Um,
Fantastic.
yep. Okay. Going once, going twice. All right. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy Hanukkah or Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Um, there's other holidays, other religions, but we're not near them right now as far as the schedule goes. But God bless all of you and all your loved ones. And I'll see you on the next Monday Night Live, which is next Monday. Some of you will see you Saturday, right? At Lou's event. And other than that, you'll be able to reach me by phone if you need me. Not working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but we'll be working tomorrow. You can reach me by phone on Wednesday and Fridays. Thursday is Christmas Day, and if it's a real emergency, obviously let me know. But other than that, be with your family and be with your friends, be by yourself, and be at peace.
My daughter
Okay.
has convinced me that I need to head in her direction as soon as possible. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be on.
I think you're gonna have a big surprise waiting for you. It's gonna be good too.
All
Yeah.
right.
Sounds like a plan.
It does.
Hey, Shasti, Merry Christmas to you guys too, Sean and Jonathan and
Thanks. Appreciate
Boney.
that.
Yeah,
Christmas, everybody.
yeah. So, and yes, I always say this to Shasti, set up a call. But we got some stuff we're using now that we developed. That some of it's going back to what we used to do a couple years ago, and it's really working well, Shasti.
Okay.
So
All right. Yeah. I probably will more of for learning how to maybe strategically use real flow to maybe find some more developable pieces of land or whatnot for the
mhm,
builders and developers, I think is something I should definitely maybe see if we
absolutely.
can help on.
By the way, Lou's group, they use ReallyFlow too. You know, it's an excellent system. So yeah, set
Love
up a
it.
call, whether it's you or Sean or Jonathan or whoever you want to have on. I'm happy to help, show them the ropes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
If
And I'll show you
anybody
what we're
has
doing
a
with the engineering contract.
developer on a property that's worth over $10 million that they can get for $5 million because of a foreclosure that's happening in January, let me know. Let Gary know because it's magnificent. It's up in Yuba City, California, and it's near an Air Force base. It's near existing development. It's been worked on for years. It's got a lot of infrastructure in terms of work that's been done on it. So if anybody's got a lead on something like that, hey, it's a hot and happening deal, as they say.
Yeah.
So definitely an opportunity if anybody's got someone like that.
Well, I think is that near it's over the mountains, not quite in Central Valley, but it's trying to think of the air base out there. It's near the Germantown.
Yep.
Oh, can't believe I'm
So
drawing a blank here.
can't think of the Air Force Base myself, but it's right there at the airport, Air Force Base, and that would
Yeah.
actually be part of the development.
Okay.
That's literally in the next door arena of it and other development that's in the area. And it's been approved for apartments. So it
Okay.
would be an over 400 unit development.
Okay. That sounds good to
They're
me.
in trouble. So we like to help when we can.
I actually think I might know a couple of people out there that do they're developers. Yeah.
We
So
can make it happen. It's one of those worth saving deals.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right, guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank
Happy
you, everybody.
holidays.
Yeah, baby.
Holidays.
And a Merry Christmas to you too.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Bye,
Christmas.
everyone.
All right.
Thank you for watching Monday Night Live. Consider subscribing. Agents, want to learn more? Schedule a call with Gary using the link in the description.